Hello there. Welcome to Just the Dis. I talk about Blu-rays here. My name's Brian, and got some new arrivals to talk about of varying labels. So let me get into this. We will start with this beauty, the Howling 4K UHD import. This is from Studio Canal. I got it from Diabolic DVD. But it might not be available there now. I think you can grab it from Amazon UK maybe, and there may be some other sites, def.com or something like that. But anyway, this is a beauty. Transfer looks amazing. We have special features of new Inside the Career of Joe Dante, Welcome to Werewolf Land, deleted scenes, outtakes, feature-length documentary exploring the relationship between film creatures and their makers. That's creature designers, the Frankenstein Complex. That's a full documentary. I've actually talked about that on a previous video as a separate release, but it's included with this as well. But yeah, I mean, this is Joe Dante's werewolf movie. Came out right around the same time as American Werewolf in London. Some people prefer it to that. I like both quite a bit. I don't know if I had to decide, it'd be a tough call because I like them both a lot. But I couldn't resist getting this because a new 4K transfer from Studio Canal is always a good thing. And this comes with a poster, a nice booklet, and a bunch of lobby card type deals there. And then we have, there's the Frankenstein Complex, the 4K, and the Blu-ray, which is, of course, region locked. Not the 4K, but the Blu-ray. And yeah, definitely recommended. I know a lot of viewers of this channel are probably quite aware of this film. And rightfully so, because it's great. But yeah, I was very excited to get my hands on The Howling in 4K. As I said, it looks wonderful. And, you know, I don't know about a stateside release. You know, this is something that Scream Factory has released on Blu-ray previously. So, you know, we know that they're doing 4K stuff now. So there's a chance that perhaps they'll do one. But I've not heard anything specific about that. I've heard no rumors even of that happening. But obviously there's a 4K scan available. So, you know, it might come around. Okay, next up, one from Arrow, Phantom of the Mall, Eric's Revenge. This is the limited Blu-ray set coming in the wonderful Arrow sturdy box. Absolutely love these boxes. I have obviously a bunch of them, and they're beautiful. This one also comes with a poster of the new artwork and a really nice booklet, which is one of the things they do for these limiteds. Yeah, it's beautiful. I love that. Okay, so yeah, for people that don't know, this is like sort of an 80s take on Phantom of the Opera. We have a new mall being built, and there is a girl who has some theories about her old boyfriend whose house was trying to be bought by the development company. At the time, they were starting to get this mall underway, and apparently they got the mall built really quickly because it feels like the incident with him happened like maybe a year ago or something. I may be misremembering how many years, but the mall is already up and running, and it's partially the Sherman Oaks Galleria, which we've seen in a lot of movies, including Fast Times and Terminator 2 and stuff like that, which I love. I love seeing the Galleria, you know, which is, you know, not there anymore in its, you know, the way it used to look. But it's a combination of that mall and one other mall. And so it's super fun to watch. Chopping Mall has some stuff at the Galleria, so I'm thinking Chopping Mall more when I'm watching this movie. But anyway, so this new mall gets built. There was an incident where somebody's house was burned down, and maybe somebody got badly burned and is now haunting the mall. and kind of keeping an eye on his old girlfriend and killing people that he finds responsible for the burning of the house incident. And that's all I'm really going to say. I mean, that's all you really need to know. But yeah, it's, very 80s, and, just this dude creeping around the ducts of the mall. There's the original cover, I think. I flipped it there, and yeah, I mean, this is a really nice special edition multi-disc set with, again, like cards. You have, okay, so this is super cool. So you have your theatrical cut of the movie on this disc. This disc includes a TV cut and a fan cut, which incorporates as I understand it, incorporates the TV footage into the theatrical cut. Obviously not seamlessly, but so you can have the full experience that way too. So that's, multiple cuts of the film, basically 3 cuts of the film. And then, as you can see, 3 cuts. Let's see here. Brand new 2K restoration of the original theatrical cut from 35mm film elements. Brand new audio commentary with director Richard Friedman, moderated by filmmaker Michael Felsher. Brand new audio commentary with disc producer Ewan Kant and film historian author Amanda Reyes, who I adore. Love to see her on this commentary. Audio interviews with composer Stacy Weidlitz and associate producer Robert J. Coster. Shop Till You Drop, the making of Phantom of the Mall, brand new making of documentary featuring interviews with Richard Friedman, screenwriter Scott J. Schneid, and Tony Michelman. Special effects creator Matthew Mungle, actors Derek Rydell, Gregory Scott Cummins, filmmaker Tony Caden. So a really nice documentary for this film. I love that Arrow, obviously somebody at Arrow really loves this movie, and they've done a wonderful job, presenting it here. This is just beautiful. The Vandals go to the mall and interview with Joe Escalante of punk band The Vandals on the creation of the film's theme song, which the Vandals did, I guess. Alternate and deleted scenes, storyboards, and then disc 2, that brand new 2K restoration of the TV cut and standard definition inserts for the footage unique to this version for the composite fan cut that combines footage from both theatrical and TV cuts. 96 minutes. So you get 6 more minutes. Anyway, that's a beautiful set. Hats off to Arrow again. I mean, I praise them a lot here because they just do really great work. And the presentation is lovely. I just, like I said, I can't get enough of these box sets. Those are beautiful. Okay, next up we have more nostalgia. We've got Josie and the Pussycats from Mill Creek. This is the 20th anniversary edition of this film, a cult classic, directed by Deborah Kaplan and Harry Elfont, who did Can't Hardly Wait. And I think this is a very worthy successor to that film, which has also become something of a classic. As you can see, it stars Rachel Lee Cook, Tara Reid, Rosario Dawson. This is one of my favorites, IP adaptations in terms of you have a cartoon that this then becomes the live action version of, and it's wonderful, and it's hilarious, and it's one of the great satires of the 2000s. It's just this incredible satire on consumerism and, just the business in general, the show business type thing in general, with a great performance from, all 3 of the ladies, of course, but also Alan Cumming, and then the boy band in this movie is unstoppably funny and great, and all their stuff is great. Seth Green is wonderful. Breckenmeyer is wonderful. They are adorably hilarious. And you get a feature commentary with directors Deborah Kaplan and Harry Elfont and producers Mark Platt, backstage pass, behind-the-scenes featurette, deleted scenes, and Josie and the Pussycats' 3 Small Words music video, which I definitely remember. Du jour, Backdoor Lover. Du jour is the boy band in this movie. I think one of my favorite scenes is them on the plane fighting with each other, talking about, like, you stole this look from me, and, just being ridiculous. And du jour means crash positions, all that stuff is hilarious. So you get 2 du jour music videos. This is actually a really nice special edition from Mill Creek. So hats off to them for picking this one up. And surprisingly, this hadn't had a Blu-ray yet. So I'm pretty shocked about that. But just a wonderful film, still very funny, and again, the satire still holds and I think has gotten more prescient over time. This movie came out in like 2001, I want to say. Yeah, so 20 years, as it says there, and that's a great 20 years of us having this movie around. Okay, next up, I've got some stuff from Milos Forman. I'm going to start with the new Paramount Blu-ray double disc set of Ragtime. This one I think is from 1981, and this is just sort of like this epic period piece that Milos Forman did, and I think it's sort of an underrated, gem in his filmography, full of gems. But this one definitely seems less known. This is a Paramount Presents Blu-ray, so you have your, slipcase and everything, and here's your disc. But yeah, so this is layering fascinating characters with the riotous events of the early 1900s America. The bestseller by E.I. Doctorow becomes a cinematic epic under the direction of 2-time Oscar-winning director Milos Forman. From the emerging New York suburb of New Rochelle to the flashy spectacle of Atlantic City, a family faces racial tensions, scandals, and violence that will test everything they believe in. Newly remastered from a 4K film transfer for its 40th anniversary, Ragtime features an unforgettable music score by Randy Newman and an incredible all-star cast. In addition to the new features, Disc 2 contains an expanded director's cut work print of the film exclusive to this very special Paramount Presents release. So yeah, this work print has never been available. It's only on the second disc of this movie. So I'm excited to check that out. I've only ever seen the regular cut of the film, which is, very impressive. And so to get a director's cut as well, work print, despite it being a work print, I'm still very jazzed to have this disc. The cast includes James Cagney, Brad Dourif, Moses Gunn, Elizabeth McGovern, Kenneth McMillan, Pat O'Brien, Donald O'Connor, James Olsen, Mandy Patinkin, Howard E. Rollins Jr., Mary Steenburgen. I mean, it's just an epic movie with that beautiful cast, beautiful period recreation, and yeah, just a very powerful film. Not necessarily your feel-good film, definitely a film rife with conflict and emotion, and just really something special. One of the great features here is you have obviously new deleted and extended scenes. You have this Ragtime Revisited, a conversation with Larry Karaszewski and the screenwriter of this film, Michael Weller, on Ragtime, which is great because they're both talking about not only this film, but their own experiences working with Milos Forman, as they both did. And I love Larry Karaszewski. He's one of my favorite cinephiles in the world, so I loved seeing him on this disc. It's a really interesting conversation between the two of them. You also have a commentary by director Milos Forman and executive producer Michael Hausman, and another featurette, Remembering Ragtime. I think those are ported from the original DVD release of the film, but this is the Blu-ray debut of Ragtime, so that's exciting. Along with that, I was talking to my friend Jason Bailey, who wrote a book called Fun City Cinema, and one of the movies he talked about in there was Milos Forman's Taking Off, which is notoriously difficult to see, and which I hadn't seen a good copy of until he mentioned that there was this French Blu-ray, which I went ahead and ordered. And this movie is sort of a very fun, it's a fun story about some parents in New York whose daughter runs away on them, and then they sort of fall into this world of, trying to relate to their child, going to this event where Vincent Schiavelli teaches everyone how to smoke a joint to relate to their children. So it's this very silly comedy, but it has a very loose, documentarian sort of structure. It opens with this wonderful scene of all these young people performing at like a talent show or auditioning, different songs, which Larry Karaszewski, again, has sort of speculated that might be the reason this movie's so hard to see, is they're singing like Beatles songs and just crazy stuff that might be hard to clear. But Buck Henry is in this. Buck Henry is just delightful as this father who's trying to find his daughter. And yeah, just a good New York movie, but a good like 60s, parents struggling with hippie children kind of movie. But so excited to have this on Blu-ray. It is Region B locked, but I got it through, I think Amazon UK or Amazon France. I can't remember which. Or no, you know what? I got it on eBay. It was on eBay, so that's where I snagged that. But anyway, 2 Milos Forman gems on Blu-ray here. Just want to mention that. And then we've got a couple from the wonderful folks at Film Detective, who I've been trying to praise on the channel. I really think they're doing great work. This one is very fascinating. It stars John Ashley, Sandra Knight. John Ashley, of course, from the Beach Party movies. He's in a movie called The Twilight People, which I saw recently, which is a real gem. But yeah, so this is Frankenstein's Daughter. This one does not mention, as they typically do, a new restoration. So I'm not sure if that was done here, but it looks good. And the basic plot is Dr. Oliver Frank's ambition is to continue the experiments of his late grandfather, the wicked Dr. Frankenstein. Since he has better luck in the lab than in the backseat of his car, Dr. Frank usually turns the women who reject him into fodder for his experiments. This guy's not so great. He has special plans for his boss's young niece, Trudy, that's Sandra Knight. Soon, a strange female creature is running amok in modern Los Angeles. No one is safe in Frankenstein's Daughter, not even the cool kids rocking at poolside. So this one's a blast. I really had fun with this. This is, like a sort of not beatnik, but, 60s kids version of a Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein kind of story. And yeah, absolutely had a really good time with it. Again, the features that, hats off, because Film Detective really doesn't slouch when it comes to these presentations. You have 2 full commentary tracks, author and historian Tom Weaver and filmmaker Larry Blamire. So you have 2 tracks to listen to. I listened to the Tom Weaver, and that's great. He's wonderful for these. He's done a bunch of these Film Detective releases, and I love his commentaries. Richard E. Cunha, filmmaker of The Unknown. This is a documentary featuring an archival interview with director Richard E. Cunha, with special thanks to Tom Weaver. And so that's cool. Richard E. Cunha, the director of the film, and somebody I was not aware of and had never heard of until this release. And they do a lovely full-color booklet. It's a small one, but they are thinking of collectors when they're putting out these releases, and they're really doing a nice job. And I actually love that they use the black cases too. I don't know why, but that just kind of is one of my things that I enjoy. But yeah, good looking transfer and a really nice presentation of Frankenstein's Daughter, which if you're like me, again, you hadn't heard of. And even better is this one, The Amazing Dr. X, starring Turan Bay, Lynn Barry, and Kathy O'Donnell. This one, Elric Kane, my podcast partner on Pure Cinema, was a huge fan of. We talked about it on an episode about public domain movies, which is a lot of what Film Detective is doing, is grabbing films that are in the public domain and doing nice transfers. So, obviously one of the things about public domain films is they tend to be out there on YouTube and other places in crappy releases, and they don't look good. And I think it sort of lowers the way people feel about these films. They just don't see them as the really interesting movies they are. And this one is really fascinating. An atmospheric masterpiece. The Amazing Mr. X stars Turan Bay as Alexis, a mystery man who claims to communicate with spirits. Appearing on the beach one night, Alexis easily charms a depressed widow and her sister, Lynn Barry and Kathy O'Donnell. The sly Alexis makes a living by separating gullible people from their money, but before this tale is over, he will learn that the living are far more dangerous than the dead, thanks to exceptional cinematography by John Alton. That's one of the reasons this movie is so great. John Alton, of course, shot a lot of great film noirs with Anthony Mann, like T-Men and Raw Deal, and just a beautiful, painter of light. Just a guy who can just create these beautiful tableaus of black and white cinematography. And this one does have a new 4K transfer restored from its original 35 elements. So that is wonderful. And you get a commentary by professor and film scholar Jason A. Nay, another full-color booklet with an essay, and Mystery Exposed Inside the Cinematic World of Spiritualism, another original documentary. And here is the little booklet. It's very nice. Got a little essay in here and everything. So I just really want to emphasize how much I appreciate what Film Detective is doing, you know, and they will definitely be mentioned as part of my favorite Blu-rays of the year. They put out a film noir called Life at Stake, which I think is absolutely fantastic. And this has been a year when I've just seen a lot of great releases from them. And I just want to remind collectors, there are definitely always new labels to be thinking about. And this is definitely one for me that I'm finding very exciting and looking forward to each of their new announcements. So that is The Amazing Dr. X and Frankenstein's Daughter from Film Detective. And that will do it for this round of my new pickups. I will have some more of this type of content for you soon. Please subscribe and like this video if this is something you enjoy. And I'll be back very soon. Bye-bye.